Hello, welcome back to another episode of Lit From Within. I am your host, Michelle. I'm going to introduce myself as Mish today because that's what my friends call me, and I don't know where it came from, but it's just easier. So, welcome to episode 2. This one will be about wise use of energy, and considering it's the end of the year, I think it's pretty important to take something into the next year that you can think about, you can have some intention with, and maybe apply it to moments in your life that are relevant, I guess. So, episode 2, here you go. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to episode 2. I did it again. I'm waiting last minute to record this because, one, it's the holiday season and I've been so busy, but I'm just curious, whose idea was it to release a podcast during the holidays? Oh yeah, it was me. Anyway, I've been smiling this whole week. Planning this episode has been actually so fun, and maybe that means I'm doing something right. But I have been in a really good mood, and everyone who listened to episode 1, thank you. Everyone who replied, who said something about it, or reached out to me, I appreciated all the feedback. It was really good. I apologize if you were overstimulated during episode 1. Maybe it was just me, but that was information overload right there. You learned so much about me in a quick 20 minutes, and I feel like I gave you a little bit of a gist of every aspect, which is good. Besides that, I had a great week. My friends came home for the holidays, and it was just really, really nice to hang out with them. We had a little launch dinner where we basically celebrated the launch birth of the podcast, and it was so fun. We got lit, and actually, at this dinner, my friend Steven brought it to my attention that I made a mistake in episode 1. I said I turned 23 in Hawaii when I actually turned 24 in Hawaii. So this forced me to think, okay, what was I doing at 23? So I went through my pictures and figured out that in 2019 was when I turned 23, and it took me down a little memory lane. So I'll just give you a quick gist of that, since I guess I did not mention that in episode 1. So in 2019, I turned 23. I would say I was doing the most. I was also in school, so I don't know how I figured that out. I definitely spent more money than I even want to know. I kicked off my birthday going to dinner with my friends at one of my favorite restaurants called Casa Vega. Kind of basic, but it's a really good Mexican place. The Kardashians used to go there, and it's a vibe. You should go if you're ever in LA. Basically, I saw that year, I was literally doing the most. I went to New York with my friend Kristen. We got matching tattoos. We saw Fleetwood Mac at Madison Square Garden on my actual birthday, which is kind of epic. I was obsessed with rhino back then. I had a pet rhino. If you know, you know. Maybe I'll share some pictures about him. I don't know. Kind of embarrassing. But that year I also went to so many concerts and festivals. I went to Coachella, Outside Lands, Hard Summer, which is a rave, Nocturnal, which is another rave. I went to just so many concerts. I saw Casey Musgraves at the Greek Theater. Went to Life is Beautiful in Vegas. I also went to Chicago that year because I was obsessed. I even rented a keg for our hotel room. Who was I? Just kidding. Actually, I've done that multiple times. You could do it if you're wondering. It's not illegal. You could get a keg for your hotel room. Anyway, that year I was Yzma for Halloween from Emperor's New Groove. It was kind of funny. I'm going through my pictures. We also had a traditional Friendsgiving that turned into a Black Friday party. At this party, I crowd surfed. Shout out to my guy friends for carrying me. I also saw that Kobe had passed away this year, which was a monumental moment for everyone in LA, everyone around the world. It was really rough. It was a really hard year just because it started off with that happening in January. But I clearly remember how that felt. It was really, really sad. Okay, after this, I saw that I had a Super Bowl party. which was not one of my best, but it's what happened. This concludes my 23rd year, and it falls right into place with when I flew to Hawaii and turned 24, so I'll stop right there. I also realized that in episode 1, I forgot to mention something so important, kind of rude. I have 2 dogs. Cabana, who recently changed her name to Bonnie. She is a black pit bull, and I also have a German Shepherd. His name is Mac. These are my 2 kids, pretty much. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with them, and they're pretty funny. In other news, I saw some trending news today on Twitter, or some might call it X now. I saw that a nightclub called Karma is being destroyed that is located in Seaside Heights, aka the Jersey Shore. Pretty sad. A piece of American history destroyed right before our eyes. I just want to say I'm thinking about you today, Jersey Shore Squad, Snooki, JWoww, The Situation, Pauly D. Do I have to name them all? Vinny? I'm just going to stop right there. Oh no, I can't. Okay, fine. Angelina. Who else? I'm missing one. Sammy, sorry, Ronnie. Okay, there we go. I'm thinking about you all today, and I just want to take a moment of silence for Karma. In other news, have you heard North's new song? Just kidding. Don't want to talk about that. Okay, no, I actually have podcast news. I secured an epic guest via WhatsApp, and I'll just let you know. She is my yoga instructor from Bali, Alicia. She is a literal MVP of my life. Like, she changed my life in ways she does not know, and I'm sure she's changed other people's lives. I don't really have to speak for this one. You will see for yourself. That one's going to be exciting. All right, and this leads us into the topic of the episode, which is wise use of energy. The way I look at it is energy is a life source, so whether you have an abundance of it or you feel like you don't have energy at all, I think it's very important to question where you're spending it, because it's very easy to enter burnout and be exhausted from overspending your energy on things that might not be worth it. So going into 2024, I guess the biggest question I want you to ask yourself is this a wise use of energy? Whether you're spending it on people, emotions, physical things, like, is this a wise use of energy? And depending on your answer, it's going to help you cultivate your responses and behaviors after that. I think after you start to practice checking in with yourself in these moments, it's good to question why you felt that way and why aren't you trusting your own process versus overextending your energy into moments that you really have no control over. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I think the next important thing is to practice finding your perfect limit with things. So, like I said, with physical activity, there will be a perfect limit for yourself that is productive and will help you achieve your goals. With your relationships, you can practice. Try to have a conversation, see where it's at. Literally feel out the vibe. Like, I know that sounds weird, but feel it out and listen to your body, listen to what comes out of it, and question, are you wasting your energy? Because if you are, it's okay to practice and leave things behind. It's really okay. You're gonna be okay. I promise. I think leaving room for exploration is important. So question what's going on behind these worries, behind this waste of energy, I guess. And think about what it means to actually fuel yourself and energize yourself in a healthy way, just so that you're not overindulging and overspending all this energy that's just going to leave you exhausted in the long run. Like I said, there will be a just right moment, and I think practicing finding that could be really helpful, and just something that maybe you're not used to. Maybe you're used to being an overachiever, a perfectionist, and that's just maybe going to cause burnout, and maybe you won't even feel happy. So find the sacred spot for yourself and find this moment that feels right. Overall, in the long run, it will lead you to an advancement. And by an advancement, what I think that means is being able to just practice moving through life almost unbothered, but also noticing what's going on and being able to compartmentalize like these situations so that you're directing your energy accurately and you're not ruining the joy of the moment. You don't want to deplete your sources, like you don't want to deplete your energy. And I think this world we live in could be very naturally heavy and consuming. So whether you're consuming the news or your friends' emotions, like I think it's important to just still have that space for yourself where you can like understand and decide where you want to direct your energy, just so you have more energy later and you're not wasting it on moments that really you have no control over. You can only like notice and try not to ruin the joy of the moment, because these moments are sacred and each moment is special, and I just don't want you to ruin that for yourself anymore. I hope this is a good idea that you can take into 2024. Just notice things around you, maybe notice what didn't work for you, and leave it out. Let's decide where we're going to direct our energy in the next few months. I think this is a very important lesson, and if you want to dive deeper, like I said, that yoga book is amazing. It's called The Yamas and Niyamas. They go into many aspects of this idea, so I just talked on things I could relate to, and I hope that it made sense to you. I hope that this could be meaningful and have weight in your life. So if you have any questions, if you want to have a conversation, like, let's talk about it. I think this is such an interesting concept that we weren't taught in school, obviously. So yeah, let me know. As we conclude episode 2, I'm just going to leave you with one last thing. Going into 2024, I'm going to look at it as like I'm styling myself. So things that are out of style, I'm going to remove, and then things that I want to be in style, I'm going to add. So some of the things that I'm going to start off 2024 with is Dry January, which I'm so excited for. It's basically no alcohol. I'm going to just listen to a lot of music and a lot of podcasts and let myself get lost in that. I'm going to do things that fill my glass. One thing I thought of was looking for ways to like make small moments special. So small acts of kindness and random moments. For example, like tipping a small business owner, like maybe extra. I don't know. That's just something that I do that usually makes both of us feel really good, and I think it's going to like a good person. So my bar back actually gave me this idea that when you leave your house on a cold day, look for a piece of clothing that like you might not wear anymore and give it to someone who might need it. I just thought that was really smart and clever because I just usually donate my clothes. Anyway, for right now, I'm trying to figure out my creative process. I'm struggling a bit with editing, but besides that, it's pretty fun. So I just need to organize my ideas and make a schedule for this podcast. Things I am going to take out of my life. One thing I'm going to try to not do in 2024 that I did this year is not communicate when I'm anxious. So I'm going to talk to my friends and let them know rather than just staying sheltered when I don't feel good. So that's one of them. Another one is forcing things that aren't in alignment. So that has to do with wise use of energy. Like if it just doesn't fit and it doesn't feel worth it anymore, I'm ready to let go and also make room for things that do align with me. Let's see. Another thing that I have to do now that I have a podcast, I guess, is that I really cannot worry anymore about what people think of me. Like, yes, I care. Call me out. But I mean this in a sense that it used to stop me from doing anything at all. Like, I was just so worried. I don't even know about who specifically. It was just like a general fear. And I want to leave that out and like let that go. So those are my ideas. I hope that this inspired you a little bit to get excited about the new year, even though things are hard all the time. I think there are things we could be grateful for and get excited about. So good luck to you. And if you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. Have a good day. Bye.
Stop.